Welcome to A.L.O.F.A.S. This is your host, the philosopher. This is Arts, Love, Outreach, Family, Adversity, Success. I have a guest here. Her name is Poetic Pryde, one of the beautiful, great poets here locally in Southern California. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Thank you for having me.
Can you all give the people a quick bio of yourself?
Sure. I am 30-something years old, African-American, beautiful queen. I have been writing poetry since I was 15, but I just recently, within the last few years, started taking my poetry seriously. So I got involved with CLI, which stands for Community Literature Initiative. I got involved with that, I want to say 2 years ago now. And that class has helped me to expand on my poetry. It has helped me to get in touch with small publishing companies so that I can produce my own book, which will be coming out soon. And that book is called Pryde in Print. And that's Pryde spelled Pryde, after my name, Poetic Pryde. So it's been a great journey so far. I enjoy so much writing poetry and reciting it and coming in contact with other poets at other poetry venues. I love that, and I love making connections. And it's just a great feeling, I guess, the best way to describe it, because it's great to have this community that we all share. And when you involve yourself so much in the community, you come across the same people, because our community is small, but it's big. So it's great because you meet all of these great poets who you can learn from. And so that's just a great thing. I never thought when I was writing these poems that it would take me to where I am today. So I'm excited.
What got you into poetry? What intrigued you to be a poet?
Oh, gosh. Well, if I must say, when I was 15, that's when I wrote my first poem. And that first poem, I'll never forget, came out of a heartbreak. What I thought would be my only heartbreak. But it was my first heartbreak, which brought about a poem, because I was simply writing down how I felt. I still have that poem to this day, and it always helps me remember where I came from, because the stories that followed after that just kind of shows how I grew. And I'm sure that that's the same for every poet when I say that, because we look back at our poetry that we wrote 5 years ago or even 5 months ago, and we see the difference in our writing because we learn, when we go to different open mics, when we go to workshops, when we hear poets on YouTube, we learn from them and we take from them. So that's what got me into writing, being able to express myself on paper, because I have a hard time, believe it or not, expressing myself verbally like I am right now. So I noticed that when I write my feelings down, it comes out so beautifully. Even if I'm angry, my angry words to me come out very beautifully. So that's what got me started in writing poetry, my first heartbreak.
That's great. What you think of the educational system right now, especially in the urban neighborhoods? We don't get as much funding as we do, but what are solutions that we can use, to better our educational system in the urban neighborhoods?
Ooh, that's a great question. And I would say that's a great question because I went to the same school as you, Andrew, Dominguez Hills. Got my
Toros.
Yes, Toros in the house. I got both my degrees at Dominguez Hills. Love that school. And I went to that school to get a degree in education because since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a school teacher. So every job that I had since I was 16 always involved kids. I love working with kids so much that when I would come home from school, even as a child, I would play school with my sisters. And, some siblings play with dolls. Some play with race cars. I played school. My grandmother made the mistake, and maybe not so much the mistake, but she encouraged me by buying me books, notebooks of blank paper, pencils, pens, crayons, chalkboards, chalk, the whole nine. So for me, I was already a teacher. So when wanting to be a teacher, what made me want to be a teacher, I should say, is looking back at my second and third grade teachers. I'll never forget them. Miss Pennington and Mr. Carrasco. I'll never forget them. I wanted to be just like them. Now, looking at our system today, it's the same in the sense that the teachers are still going on strikes, just like they did when we were kids. I remember seeing the teachers go on strikes, and we would not be able to go to school because the teachers would be on strike. And of course, I didn't understand that until the adults would explain to me, well, the teachers aren't getting paid enough. So they're striking because they're trying to tell the administration what they want and what they deserve because of what they do. Yes. And of course, I didn't understand that until I got older and I saw, what teachers go through. So being that I worked in the school system for a few years and a few different times with different jobs, I saw it and I experienced it for myself. And I realized, hey, I'm not making enough money to deal with what I deal with. Yeah. But at the same time, I had to say, you know what? If this job didn't pay me anything, I would probably still do it. Just because I know that there's a generation behind me that still needs to be educated. So to answer the question of how we could change it, we can just continue to be educators. And I always tell people, when they ask me, well, what do you do? I say I'm a teacher. It doesn't mean that I work in the classroom. And it doesn't have to mean that I have to be in the classroom. And it doesn't have to mean that I have to have a chalkboard in front of me with chalk. It doesn't mean that I have to have a classroom full of desks. My classroom can be on the corner of Lamert Park. Yep. My classroom can be in the open mic facility. My classroom can be sitting in the park reading to a child. My classroom and anyone's classroom can be anywhere that we make it. And I feel like if we as adults have the opportunity anytime we do, we should teach. And it doesn't always have to be an adult to a teacher. It can be an adult to an adult. And many times it is an adult to adult, and so we are all teachers in our own right. And I think that if we continue to educate and tell people what we know, then we are making the education system better, because when we know better, we do better.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because our first teachers is our parents, once
Exactly.
you come out the womb of your mother,
Exactly.
those are the ones you really learn from. And,
right.
You're right about that.
We spend more time with the teachers than we do, unfortunately, at home, because when we come home, we got to do homework, we have dinner, and then we go to bed. Or we bathe, and then we go to bed. So most of our time, 8 hours of the day, or maybe 6 hours at the most of the day, is spent with our teachers. We're learning when the kids have recess. I don't know if they call it recess anymore. That tells you how old I am. Yeah. When they have nutrition and lunch, they are learning. When they are getting tutored, they're learning. When the teacher is reading to them, or they're communicating back and forth, answering questions, they're learning. But the learning doesn't stop there. The learning continues. When they're going home, they're reading the street signs. They're learning the directions. Some of the kids who catch the bus, they learn directions because they're catching the bus. Your learning never stops. They come home. Some parents are teaching their kids how to cook. Their learning never stops. So it's definitely important for us to always encourage learning however we can get it, because it doesn't necessarily always have to be in the classroom.
Yeah, you're right about that. I think the best learning experience is our own life experience.
Absolutely agree with you when you say that. Absolutely agree. And again, when we know better, we do better. And sometimes the best education comes out of those learning experiences. And sometimes those are the hardest ones, but they're the best ones, because we took a chance on doing something so we could learn. And sometimes it means that we make a mistake, but that's how we learn. If we don't take the chance, we might never learn. So
yeah, we learn from our mistakes. It's so cliche, but it's true.
Right. Absolutely.
What you think about the kids now? Because I remember growing up back then. You probably know too that kids used to be outside, you know?
Yes.
They used to be outside playing football on the
Yes.
street. These kids, you don't see that anymore. They're stuck in the house.
No.
You see the blue screen. What's your opinion about that?
It's scary because the generations are changing more and more. When I was growing up, I could go outside and ride my bike. I could go outside and skate. I got exercise. I could go outside and hula hoop. For Christmas one year, I begged my my mom to get me a oh God, what was it called? A pogo ball. It's kind of like a pogo stick, but it's a ball. I remember getting it. It was red. Begged her to get that. I would get on that every day. I remember click clacks. Do you remember click clacks?
I don't know if I...
Probably not.
Yeah, because I'm a little younger, you know, I guess.
You should still know. But click clacks are plastic. Oh God, I don't even know how to describe it. But anyway, every kid on the block had click clacks when they were popular. So I can recall just being outside. Yeah. Now the kids don't go outside because social media has taken over their world.
Yes.
We saw it happening, but we didn't know it was going to look like this.
No, I didn't expect that. You know, I'm not going to lie. I'll be on the social media.
Of course.
I mean, when you're an artist, you got to be on there. No one's going to know where you at, wherever open mic you go to.
Right.
What book signing is going to be at. So we need the open mic. I mean, the open mic.
We need the social media.
We need that too, though. We still need the open mic shit.
Yes, yes.
So I feel like back then the kids didn't have that. So they end up going to gangs or like things of that nature because they didn't know how to express themselves.
Exactly.
So that's what they did.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's not the same. They can't go out. Well, they can go outside, but they don't. They don't. Yeah. They inside playing video games, or they're on the computer, or they're, you know, on their phones.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all their entertainment for all day. These kids are on their phone during school. So
they barely pay attention in class.
So it's so different from when I was growing up. I could go outside and skate and ride my bike. And it's so crazy because when I see kids riding their bike, boys and girls, but especially little black boys, when I see them outside riding their bike, that lets me know that there's still some hope. It might be a little bit, but there's still some, because that's letting me know there's still some young kids out there that still do things that we used to do growing up. They still ride bikes. We don't see it as often, but they still ride bikes. They still skateboard. They still ride
that little scooter.
The scooter. They still ride the scooters. We don't see it as much, but every once in a while you see a kid on a scooter. You see a kid riding a bike. I see more adults riding bikes though now.
Oh, yeah, especially in Long Beach, you know, over there downtown, they have a lot of these bike festivals.
Yes.
They got, like, bikes there, the city. If you rent it, I don't know how much, probably a little expensive to rent the city bikes. You can ride around town with. Right. Yeah, they're really into the bikes in Long Beach.
Especially when you go to the beaches. Venice Beach and Santa Monica, you not have to, but they allow you to rent bikes, and everybody's on a bike, especially if you go to, what is that place called? Catalina Island.
Oh, at Catalina Island.
Everyone's riding a bike there just to get around, and
because it's small.
It's small. I walk around.
You don't need no car over there.
Yeah, because you miss. I feel like if you get on a bike, you miss everything, or if you get in a little go-kart or a golf cart, you miss everything because you're going so fast. But
you might as well just walk around.
Yeah, you walk around. You don't miss nothing if you walk around. But that's just my opinion. So yeah.
That's why I tell my girl all the time, like when I walk around, you know, it's really exciting because you see things that you don't see when you're driving, you know?
Right.
Because when we're driving, we just go past through everything.
Right, and you can miss it because you're driving.
Yeah, it's like when we walk, we're like, oh, I didn't know this was here.
Right.
You discover new things for some reason, like, oh, this goes some nice places to go eat.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So who was your, like, on poetic, like, inspirations, like, poets that made you want to write in?
Maya Angelou and Langston Hughes.
Oh, that's like me too.
And I know that's a cliche too, but those were my first exposures to poetry. Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou. They were the first poets I was exposed to, and when I read their work and heard their voices, I was like, who are these people and what are they talking about? It's so beautiful what they're talking. I want to be like them. And so those were my first that was my first exposure to poetry at a young age in high school. And it's so, just in my adulthood now, in the last year or so, I've recently discovered all these other poets that no one taught us about in school. And that's unfortunate. But that's a cold piece.
Cold piece. Better cold piece in the house.
Right.
We live at the world stage.
Right.
Yeah, man, like, I never thought I'd be a poet, though, honestly. I thought I was just trying to use it to get at girls, when I was in middle school. That's the old days, one of them old days where you used to, like, pass the notes.
Yes.
Pass the little paper notes. I used to write, like, little haikus or whatever, put, like, candy up in there, those little bite-sized candy. That's how I was back in the day. I used to do that.
Uh-huh.
Then, I used to try to get girls and stuff.
Did it work?
Sometimes. I don't know. I was always chubby growing up,
Yeah.
These girls, they like these, like, more flat stuff. I don't know. Six-pack. I never had a six-pack.
Well, you got one. You got one.
It's just hidden behind all this fat, little family pack right here. Oh, man.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, man. So, what kind of music you like?
I love R&B and I love gospel. Those are my two favorites that I always go to. I like hip hop, but only certain hip hop. I don't like the hip hop that's playing today.
Oh, you don't like that?
No, I hate it. Yeah. I hate it. Give me some DJ Quick.
Oh man, I remember that.
Give me some old school Snoop. Give me a little bit of Tupac, because I was never a huge fan of Tupac. And when I first met Tupac, I met Tupac on the movie screen. Oh, I didn't meet him through the music. And that experience of meeting him on the TV screen or on the movie screen, I didn't like his character. So when I heard his music, I was like, but I was still stuck on the actor, and so I just couldn't get into Tupac. But give me some DJ Quick, give me some Snoop, give me some, oh God, who else? Give me some LL. Some old school LL. That's what I'm with. But these new cats, I can't understand them. I can't.
It's that mumble, like on Kobe said, right? That little mumble raps,
Yes, and I can't. That's not. So R&B and gospel for sure, and a little hip hop.
So what would you do if you won $1 million today? Like, what would you do with that?
I would definitely pay up some rent. And I say that honestly because when I left one of my jobs, I was able to take my 401 with me, and I paid up my rent for like a year. That was the best. So I would probably pay up my rent, for a year, and I would definitely go on vacation, because I'm literally right now planning my vacation for my birthday. So I would be like set, like, I ain't got to save. The money's right here. My birthday is in September.
Oh, September. Oh, yeah. You got to be on 21st birthday, huh?
Yes. Yes. 21 again. Yes, sir. And again and again.
So where you plan on going? You going to like somewhere exquisite?
I want to go to an exotic place. I want to go to Hawaii. Last year I went to the Bahamas, and it was so beautiful. And just to know that, I could do this. There's so many places that we could see outside of LA and outside of California.
Oh, yeah.
And so to go to that place and see all of the things that I saw and experience everything I saw, it's like, wow, why can't we do this all the time? One, it's expensive. Two, some people have children and you just can't just go when you want. Right now, I have the luxury of not having children, so I can go.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm like, let me go again, for my next birthday. But I want to go to Hawaii. If not Hawaii, I want to go somewhere beautiful and just enjoy a nice vacation for my birthday.
Yeah, Hawaii is nice. I've been out there. I was there for like a week. I was like, I went there to go to Samoa with my mom. I was like, a couple of years ago. I was there for like half a year. It's really beautiful, real laid back.
That's what
You see the water. You see the water. You can see your feet clearly in the oceans.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do, and I want to experience that.
That's the great thing about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's where I want to go. So that's the plan. If not this year, 1 year is my plan, because I made it to the Bahamas. I always wanted to go to the Bahamas, and I made it. So I'm like,
shoot, how was that experience like?
Oh my gosh, I would do it again. Not right away, but I would do it again. It was just beautiful, like unexplainable beautiful.
Oh,
Just everything about it, from the birds to the dolphins to the boat rides to all the entertainment. It was just a beautiful place. The view, my room, and the view from my room, just everything. It was just like, I couldn't believe I was there, and I enjoyed every moment of it. And I want to experience that again. I think everyone should. Because unfortunately, living in California, or I'm guessing any state that you may live in, if that's where you've been all your life, you don't know. You know other places exist, but you don't know what it's like when you get there. And if you've never been, you'll never know, and you'll think that this is the world. This is the whole world. LA is it. LA is not it, and California is definitely not it.
No, it's like 1% of the world.
Right,
if you
right.
look at the big pictures.
Right, and it's 49 other states, and what is it? 7 continents and countries. It's just so much to see, and so I just want to. I don't want to see everything, but I want to see enough to say I experienced this, that, and the other. I like to travel, so
yeah, traveling's fun. Especially life is short.
Right.
You gotta go somewhere.
Right.
You don't want to be stuck in one place your whole
life.
I know cats in Long Beach. That's all they know is Long Beach. I'll be like, damn, that's all you. It's kind of sad,
Yes.
You be looking at them like, this is it. Like, it's all you know. I'm like,
right.
Man, you gotta go.
You got to get out there and enjoy.
Go wild, man.
Yes. And being that I was born and raised in California, I wanted to see other places. And when I started traveling, I loved it. I mean, I have a passport and I got 1 more year on it, so I'm trying to use it. So
use it to the maximum.
Yes. And then when it's used up, I'm going to get another one. I'm going to pay for another one, because then I have access to the world, with no excuses. So yeah, I got 1 more year and I'm like, let's get it. Let's do it. Wherever I end up, let's do it. So yeah.
That's great, man. I know my cousin right now, she's in Thailand, man. It's nice. I see pictures of her Facebook. It's like, yeah, it's nice. But they said it's cheap out there. It's really cheap. Thailand, Philippines. If you have money, you could buy land over there.
Wow.
It's cheap, man. Because that's what they call a third world country.
Yeah.
But man, it's nice.
Thailand. It must be nice. It's nice if you can travel like that too.
She's lucky because she worked for the airlines. I used to work at the airport, but I worked for the agency, so I didn't get the benefits, So it's kind of a letdown.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Man, it's kind of bad. She was like, "What's your favorite food to eat? Like, what you love to eat?"
I love soul food, of course.
Yeah.
I love soul food. Someone introduced me to Thai.
Thai
not
food.
too long ago, and I really enjoyed it. I couldn't tell you what it was.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I love that Thai food. Me and my girl, that's all we do. Sometimes we just go eat. Dude, that's why I'm big. We just go different restaurants. Hey. But she can cook too. She gets down in the kitchen.
Nice.
She cooked me this jerk chicken 2 days ago.
You still thinking about it, huh?
Yeah, man, it was fire. I was like, damn. That's bomb.
Food is life.
Yeah, do you get down in the kitchen?
I cook. I don't know if I get down, but I cook. And I like to cook, because I discovered in playing around with different ingredients and stuff, mixing stuff up and trying stuff, I discovered that I like doing that. I like experiencing and seeing what tastes like what if I mix this with this. I like that. So I do like to cook. I know how to cook some things, but someone once said, if you know how to read, you can cook. So I can read, so I can cook.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's one of the important tools to have.
Right.
If you know how to read, you can do anything.
Right.
That's really important as reading.
Right. Get that ingredient book out and that cookbook, and I have all my grandmother's cookbooks, so there's no excuse for me. But the only thing I don't like about them is that they give you so many ingredients And sometimes you don't need all that stuff. You just need general stuff. So
just the simple stuff.
Yeah, you don't need all the extra stuff. They give you like 20 ingredients, and you probably only need 10 of them. So, that's the only thing I don't like about them. So, but yeah, I do love to cook, and I love soul food, obviously. I love Mexican food.
Oh, yeah, that Mexican.
I love Italian food. I really love Italian food because spaghetti and lasagna is my favorite.
Man.
But yeah, soul food is the top. Soul food is the top.
I probably love all food anyway.
Yeah, I think food is just life. Like, ooh.
Yeah, man.
Like, I'm hungry right now and you talking about it. Man.
That's not really helping right now.
I'm serious, Andrew. I'm like, like all I've had to eat today was some candy. And I had my favorite candy, which is Reese's Pieces. And that's all I had. And so I need something, I need some.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get me some a little bit to eat after too. I don't know where, but
food is life.
It is. Food is life, girl.
It's life. It's like, aren't you happy after you eat?
Yeah. You feel relieved.
Yes, like right. You feel so much better. You don't have no attitude. You ain't uptight. That's how I be feeling. I be feeling uptight when I don't eat. And I don't want to be around nobody when I'm uptight because I don't want them to feel like I'm being mean. No, I'm just hungry. And I just need to eat. That's all.
Okay. What you love about the open mics, like being there? Like, I know I met you at the open mics that was the Poetry Friends and Drinks.
Yeah.
I love going out. I've been taking like a hiatus right now because I'm working on these school and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be back out there. I'm working on new poetry though.
Nice. Well, as I mentioned before, what I love about the open mics is being able to connect with other poets. That's always important because you want to make connections with people so when your book comes out, they'll remember you and they'll know you, especially if they see you at different open mics. A lot of times, it's like, hey, I saw you at World Stage. Oh, hey, I saw you at Poetry Friends and Drinks. Yeah. Hey, I saw you at Swam,
Yeah.
And so when you make the connections, like I made a connection last night, and I think that's so important when you go, especially if you go to an open mic you've never been to before. And last night I went to Coffee Cartel.
Oh, what's that?
That's in Redondo Beach.
Okay.
I've never been there before, but it was a great experience. I'm gonna throw Kwamel's name out there. Kwamel and I were there last night, and not to pat myself on the back or toot my own horn, but I'm gonna pat myself on the back and toot my own horn because there were two shows. The second half, Kwamel opened up the second half, and then right after Kwamel was me. They called my name. And so back to back, and I say this only because, not to put anybody down, but everybody in the first half read their pieces. They read either from their phone or they read from their notebook. That's cool because that might be the level you're at, because I was at that level, and truthfully, I'm still at that level.
Yeah, I'm still at that level.
Yeah.
I just barely memorized like 3 poems because of that side competition. I'm working on more than them.
See, and I just memorized 4. Why? Because why did I memorize? I started memorizing for my my feature that I had, and now I'm focusing back on memorizing the 4 because I have a slam that I'm about to participate in. But before that, I had my notebook. Kwamel can tell you, and I'm throwing his name all over the place, but he can tell you, I carried this notebook that was so thick, and it has all my poems in it. And he was like, you need to start putting that up here. Stop carrying that with you, because if you lose it, it's a wrap. And I believed him. I put all my poetry on a computer, but I also had it, physically tangible where I can have it. But I stopped carrying it, and I started putting stuff up here on my brain. But the point is that I'm making is that the second half, Kwamel opened up, and then I went right behind Kwamel. Now, mind you, everyone before us in the first half read from a phone or from their paper. Okay. We got up there, Kwamel, spit. Oh, I know. 2
Kwamel,
poems.
That brother.
Yeah, he did 2 poems and didn't blink. And then I got up, I did 2 poems, didn't blink. No phone, no nothing. The girl that came up behind me was like, hey, I got an idea of who should be our next features. And she pointed to me and Kwamel. And me and Kwamel was like, what? Like, it was like the dopest thing for me.
Dope, yo.
Because I know Kwamel has been a feature before, but for me, it's like somebody recognizes me.
That's great.
So to be able to do that, to go somewhere and somebody say, hey, I like your work, you know? Just to be called out, my first feature, and only the first one that I've had so far, when I got the call from Cold Piece, that was amazing because I had just performed and all I was doing was going to support. Who was I going to support there? I don't know who I was going to support. I think I was just going to the open mic at Poetry Friends and Drinks. I did my piece.
Was it Jessica?
No, because Jessica wasn't the feature.
That's
she
someone
wasn't
else.
the feature. She's actually just now getting ready to be a feature at Poetry Friends and Drinks.
Oh,
so
that's someone else.
I don't know who it was. I think I just went there. It was October Blue.
October Blue. Oh, that's what.
See?
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. That's what me and my girl was there. Yeah,
right, and that's where we met.
Yeah.
So October Blue was featuring. So I was like, let me go support October. Did my piece. Shortly after, my name came up in, okay, who should be our next feature? And the person who runs it, which happens to be in CLI, he was like, I really enjoyed your work. He basically told Kwamel, hey, I enjoyed her. Let's put her, just because I did one poem that stood out. And that's what's great about going to the open mics, because somebody's going to see you and they're going to be like, hey, I want you for my next feature. And so that's what happened last night. I don't know if the host is going to listen, but I gave him my information. And hey, I might be a feature. But
great.
Making those connections is so important. And then even after that, a young lady came up to me, which I always look forward to at least one person. If one person comes up to you and be like, hey, I enjoyed your work, I feel like we've done our job as poets because we said something that touched them. So one young lady came up to me and was like, first she was like, do you go to church? And I said, yes, because one of the pieces I did was my piece called The Visitors, which talks about, the emotional visitors we have and how God comes in and saves us. So I did that piece and she was like, do you go to church? And I was like, yeah. So we talked about church and she was like, I really love that piece. It was like touching to my heart. And then the other piece that you did was so great. So of course, different people were complimenting Kwamel and I, but to make that connection, it was like, I love that. And even in making that connection, that also allowed me to say, hey, I'm participating in a women's slam. Let me give you the information. So it helps me spread the word and
the networking.
Yes, the networking is so important. Yes, it's so important because you want to make those connections and, like Kopi says, stop networking and start building relationships. So we are building relationships. We're networking, quote unquote, but we are still building relationships because every time someone comes up to me and says, I love your work, I give them my card. That's my cue to give them my information, take their name down because I'm going to hit you up and I'm going to let you know where I'm going to be next time so you can come see me because you like my work. So that's where the connection comes in, and it's just great. It's
like a blessing. It's
yes,
feeling.
Yes.
When I started, and then people started, because I started at Long Beach City College with the open mic. I was reading from a book and phone. But I used to print out my papers and read it. People were like, "Damn, man, I love your poetry. Yo, keep doing it, bro. Keep writing." And I started going to different venues in Long Beach, like Fox Coffee House, Shades, all these other venues out there. Then once I start meeting Co-Piece and Kwamel and them, and then you and stuff, it's like, damn, I start going to all these different venues all over Southern Cali.
Right. Because there's so many, and I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I never realized it.
Got into the community of it, and it's like, dang, you think that it's small, and it is, but it's not, So it's just a great thing to be a part of, even if you're just an audience member, the experience, because I used to just be an audience. Well, no, I can't say I've ever been an audience member because way back when my friend first started taking me to open mics, she started taking me because I was writing and she was like, you need to go read that. And so I did.
And that's where it all started.
And that's how it started. So I can't ever remember just being an audience member unless, which still happens today, I will go and sign up and didn't get called. Or I got there too late. That's the only reason I'm an audience member. Other than that, I'm trying to give you the word because you need to hear me, you need to see me. And that's how I've been thinking the last few years. Before, it was like, oh, it's fun. And it's still fun. But now it's like, I got a book coming out. It's about to be real serious. I need everybody to know who I am. So.
Okay. You got any poems with you that you can, read to the people or have people to hear? Or?
Sure. I'll go ahead and do my Visitors poem, the one I mentioned. So it's called The Visitors. One day I had way too many visitors. Fear, shame, doubt, depression, and confusion all came knocking on my door. Fear sat on my couch. Shame slept in my bed. Doubt ate at my kitchen table. Depression bathed in my bathtub. And confusion watched my television. I didn't know what to do. My place was so crowded. I wanted them to leave, so one by one I politely asked, Fear, can you please get off of my couch? He did nothing but increase his slouch. Shame, can you please get out of my bed? He then requested a thicker pillow for his head. Doubt, can you please get up from my kitchen table? He continued to eat as much as he was able. Depression, can you please get out of my bathtub? He said, I like it here, rub-a-dub-dub. Confusion, can you please turn off my television? He asked, what channel do I watch? He needed to make a decision. They all ignored my cries and they all ignored my plea until I looked in the mirror and saw that they were all a part of me. Dear God, I cried out, please make me new. Then with a knock on my heart, God said, open up and I will help you. I cried out again, Lord, please come in quick. These people in me are making me sick. God said, my child, vengeance is mine. I will remove them at once and you will be just fine. Then with, before I could blink, excuse me.
That's okay. Go ahead, sister.
Before I could blink, I saw God move. And when he was all done, he had nothing left to prove. He grabbed fear by the ear and shame by the hair. He looked at doubt and doubt disappeared into thin air. He kicked depression out of the door so confusion became very afraid. So he passed out on the floor and he died where he laid. I was so thankful to God for all that he had done. The devil was defeated and victory had won. As he wiped away my tear, he handed me a Bible and he said to me softly, should they try to return, use my word against them. It is very reliable.
There you go. Poetic Pryde, that's some poetry.
Yes,
Excellent. Some elegant poems right there. You have another one you want to share?
Sure. Let me go with Saturday Yet. Is it Saturday Yet? That's a poem I need to actually practice. So let me just get my practice in. Is it Saturday yet? Mad Monday's got my mind mesmerized and I might be making excuses, but don't misunderstand me. I want to make my money. I just don't want to go to work. Them dollars might be motivational if my job were more recreational. Yet I manage to maneuver hour by hour, and if I make it out alive, it'll be a miracle. Is it Saturday yet? Terrible Tuesdays got me tripping because my 20-something-year-old coworkers keep trying me and testing my patience. I'm too mature for this. The teenagers keep talking back, and I'm so tired of that. Instead of being tricked, I'm being treated. I'm being tricked. And I thought tricks were for kids. Is it Saturday yet? Weird Wednesdays got me writing whack words just to make it through the week. After all, it is hump day, and I got 2 more days before my week ends, and I'm at my wit's end. I can't wait any longer. I wish I could work from home. Is it Saturday yet? Threatening Thursdays got me thinking this job pays the bills, so I better be thankful. It's them against me. And in theory, I'm thrilled that tomorrow is Friday, but when it's all said and done, will I need therapy? Is it Saturday yet? Foolish Fridays got me fighting for my faith that I'll return to this workplace next week. Sure, I have my freedom of speech, but I failed to follow through with my fellow colleagues in saying, have a great weekend, because I really don't care if they do or not. I prefer true friendship over true fakeness. Funny fact is, even my calendar reads WTF. Is it Saturday yet? Ooh, getting that practice in, boy. It's serious. Thank you.
Thank you so much for participating. Just want to thank you for taking your time to be interviewed by me on my A.L.O.F.A.S podcast.
Yes,
A.L.O.F.A.S, Outreach,
it.
Family, Adversity, Success. So really appreciate the love since we're almost out of time.
Okay.
You want to let the people know where you can get your book and where they can follow you or contact you?
Okay. You can definitely hit my email up at Marquita, MARQUITTA @gmail.com. gmail.com. I'm going to open up another email address soon with my poetry name, which is Poetic Pryde. But for now, you can hit me up again on my email, which is marquita@gmail.com. That's M as in Mary, ARQUITTA@gmail.com. Hit me up there and let me know if you want to come to your spot or come to your event. I'm open for anything and everything, or almost anything and everything, I should say. My book will be coming out soon. It does not have a date yet, but I will be letting everyone know when the date has been announced. And again, you can look for it. It's going to be called Pryde in Print, and that's Pryde spelled Pryde, named after me, Poetic Pryde, which is my stage name. Look for it. Look for me, Poetic Pryde. I'm all over LA.
Well, that's it, everyone. This is the A.L.O.F.A.S for host of A.L.O.F.A.S Art, Love, Outreach, Family, Adversity, Success. Thank you guys for listening. Please support our local artists and poets. Support Poetic Pryde and her book Pryde in Print. That's Pryde in print. Yes. Please support also on Still Waters, World Stage, all these publishing companies. Come out to the open mics too. Poetry Friends and Drinks. Tommy Domino. Go to Shades of Africa. Support the arts, man. Support the local open mics. Right. If you're a writer, don't be shy. Just come out there, read your paper. People need to hear your story, hear your words. God bless you all. One love.
You know that feeling you get when it's just right. It's kind of like